Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days. I'm your host, Araceli, with my mop-up hair because it's my day of mopping, quite literally. I am filling in for our regular co-host, Tony Moore, who is taking a well-deserved break today. And above me, we have...
It's our Brady Bunch. Here's the story.
Right. Hey guys,
a lovely lady.
And to my other above me,
yes,
Michael Mattis. I'm back. How are you?
Hello, welcome back. We missed the lumberjack look. The lumberjack look was
and it's still,
out of town.
It is here.
Yes, the chat room can rest easy. Michael is back.
Yes.
They were very pressed about it, I guess.
Yes. Always when you're not here.
Well, it just shows how much they adore you. We have a wonderful audience. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Dishin Days. We're going to have a packed show today. Before we get started, please follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. And make sure that you check us out on all your favorite podcast channels. We are here on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartMedia. We're everywhere, just spamming you with all the Dishin Days glory. And
we'll get you one way or another.
Yes. Yeah. And not to be outdone is our merch. Buy merch. We are dishindays.threadless.com. Buy merch. Some places may still have heat. I don't know. So maybe you'll find a beach towel. Maybe you'll find a nice sweater. I could not tell you what weather you have where because it's all wacky everywhere.
Yes.
But you'll find something to satisfy your Dishin Days needs. All righty.
Indeed.
So what did we think of this week's Days of Our Lives?
Justin and I were talking about it before the show. We feel like stuff happened, but it wasn't exciting. Is how we deduced it. Stuff happened, but not exciting. Not the most exciting week.
Yeah, it was okay. Like we got a little bit of movement, not a lot. I felt like we got a lot more last week. It was okay though. I enjoyed what they gave us this week. The scenes interactions we had with characters, but it wasn't a lot of movement. But it was an okay week for me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm satisfied. We'll get into it.
I thought it was Tim M, but it's TMM. Says it was okay, not great. You're going to have weeks like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Ebbs and flows, guys. Ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows. That's right.
Yes. All right. Without further ado, it is time to start
Dishin Days.
Dishin Days. Here, I'll use my phone and
yes, the hourglass.
Yes.
Set it and forget
I'm still
it.
trying to figure out how to do sounds on here and still didn't figure it out today, but
that's all
one
right.
of these weeks. One of these weeks.
Yes, bear with us, people. You know you love our soothing voices. I know, I'm not Tony, but I'm trying. Okay, we have first up the devil and what he's doing to Marlena, Doug, Julie, Sierra, and Ben. All right, let's start off with Dear Doug. Oh, dear Doug.
Oh, dear Doug.
You know, there's just nobody deserves what he got this week, but boy, just did it suck.
Yeah, and I was surprised that everyone just kind of let it happen. That everyone was like, all right, Marlena's saying he has to go to Bayview, so ship him off to Bayview. Like, nobody, objected and it was like, she suggested it at the end of an episode, and then during the next episode, he was already in Bayview. Like, it happened so quick. And I was just surprised that there wasn't more resistance to it, like on Julie's part or Kayla's part. It literally was like, okay.
Yeah, I agree. I thought we were gonna delve deeper into that, and there was gonna be not Julie fighting Marlena, but like you said, a lot of resistance. And does he really need this?
Yeah.
And yeah, it happened very quickly. But I guess also you have Marlena on one side, and then you have sort of what people know are as the facts on the other, and it's pretty damning evidence if they really think he's sort of getting abusive and can't control himself. I mean, in that point, you kind of need to do something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard because at this point they still think that he has dementia, and unfortunately, if you're taking Marlena's word for it, he would, all of this just kind of lines up with that diagnosis, and it's really unfortunate. Yeah. But what do we think of first I'll get to the voice. They seem to be really tuning in on the voice of the devil in the voice recorder. What do we think about that? Because that seems to be the devil's, I don't know, medium or his microphone, as it were. What do we think about that?
I think it's okay. It's a nice device so that Marlena can still sort of be Marlena or herself, sort of talking to him or struggling with him. I maybe like it better than if it was just internally, because then it would have just been like her sort of arguing with him in her head as he's trying to take her over. So I like the device. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the devil's way of talking to Marlena when he's not like, in her, which I hate saying that, but like I hate saying, what do you mean he was in her? I'm just like, there's no better way to say it, I guess. But it's instead of like you said, like her kind of arguing with herself, I guess.
Yeah.
But and I don't know how they did it before. Someone else mentioned about the contacts that I mentioned whenever I was here last 2 weeks ago. But I like that they've found a way to have the devil be able to communicate with Marlena without overtaking her.
I would argue that it might be a little too gimmicky, but then I recall what Ron told us that the devil hasn't really fully taken over yet, so it wouldn't necessarily make sense for her to just be arguing with herself if he's not completely taken over her yet.
Dolores says he should start sending her text messages, talking to her on WhatsApp.
Oh my God,
Dylan!
Oh gosh, I don't know if the devil would take that chance. WhatsApp went down this week.
Right.
How reliant do we want to be on technology here?
Yeah.
That last quote
comments about this week.
Yeah, why doesn't I mean I think Bill Hayes is doing an amazing job in sort of like the franticness of being in his situation, so to speak. But he's sort of doing the like she's not herself, or what was he saying? It's her, or she needs help.
She needs help.
It was sort of like
he's in her,
like it was like spit it out. Like the other poster in the chat room said like spit it out.
It was like it's a devil possessed.
Yeah.
2 words. That's it.
Yeah. But no, I think he's doing an amazing job of like, I don't think we've ever seen Doug in that state. He's always been, he's either always been sort of like grifter guy who came to town, sort of a little shady and schemy. And then the other side, we've seen him as like distinguished old man, wise old man. So I don't think we've ever seen him in this sort of light where he's
kind of peril.
Yeah. But no, Bill Hayes is doing amazing work with it.
This really gives him a chance to dig in and find that fight in him, which I just love. That's just like people have layers, and please don't put them in a box because that's ageist. It's like if we know Doug, he loves his family, he'll fight for his family. He's a fighter when it comes to that. So he'll find a way. I have faith in that.
And it sort of makes you think of oh God, why weren't they using him? Doug's storyline was when Julie was sick, when she was doing the heart transplant. We got some great scenes with him there, but it's like you could have you can use this man, like he's a great actor, like use him in other situations, and he, even if he's a supporting character, use these people. They're talented. They've been with the show for years. They're here. They can still act. They want to be a part of it. They give them good material.
Yeah, but in that particular situation, it worked to Doug's advantage to be his most Doug self, to come at Gabi with kindness, because everybody was in fight mode. Everybody was trying to be persuasive and fighting, and you should want to do this kind of thing. Whereas being Doug, came at it with kindness, came at
Mhm.
it with, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
But I recognize that this is your choice. And that's a beautiful thing about Doug.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that really just leaves it up to people to decide their own fate. He believes in autonomy and having choice, even if it's the wrong choice. He's never, I'm trying to think, even like
Mhm.
all the blunders, maybe like the last big thing I saw him do, big fight that he put up, was that was at least the most memorable to me, was when Hope and Bo first got together, and that backfired big time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like ever since then he really allows people to choose their own path, come
Yeah.
what may.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we think now that Ben has sought out Marlena / the devil, even though he didn't know it, like the very last thing on Friday was the devil telling Marlena they have to have that baby. So now we think the devil's going to come after Ben and Sierra now.
Oh, Rosemary's Baby. Oh, I didn't like it the first time.
And I said that sort of as a joke last week, not seeing the promo, and then it was like, oh god, they're actually, is this where they're going with it? Maybe.
Ugh.
I think it's another dimension to the story that I think it's what's great is that they've been doing, and I gotta commend them that they're using nostalgia with the possession storyline, but they're also going out of their way to make it so different and to change things, and so it's not a rehash of what people saw or what people heard about 25 years or 25 plus years ago. So yeah, I think this is a great avenue. I don't think there was any sort of hint or anything about a baby last time with Marlena.
No.
We didn't get, if I remember correctly, I don't remember too much of it, but I don't think it was an internal struggle last time either. I think the devil took her over, and the devil was her for that duration of time. And the devil was pretending to be Marlena and sort of causing trouble. Yeah.
Right.
So there wasn't really like an internal struggle like we're seeing now, which is different. So yeah, I'm interested in it just because it's different than what we saw, and they're going someplace. They're involving new characters, and I guess it's just good to have Sin involved in something that isn't about them like professing their love to each other. Like I know it's part of it is about this baby, but like I like getting them in the action.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know, that this. It seems that this is taking a Rosemary's Baby turn, which I gotta say, I kind of I'm okay with. I'm not okay with it, but all this talk about how we're gonna have a baby and everything's gonna be okay, and Ben was like, we don't know that it's gonna be okay, and I really felt like those are conversations that needed to be had. I had made the point before, he should be checking with Marlena. He should not be consulting Trip as just a medical student. He should be consulting a doctor with years of experience to see, is my condition hereditary? What are my chances? What do you think? Consult a seasoned professional. Obviously, we know that has taken a very bad turn, but I will always advocate, as long as your therapist is not possessed, please consult a professional before you, for your family planning. Don't consult baby doctors. And by baby doctors, I mean people who haven't even gotten their licenses yet.
Not a doctor that specializes in babies, but a baby, like a Doogie Howser.
A doctor with a baby-sized amount of experience.
There you go. I'm so glad you said experience. Yeah. A lot of people in the chat room agree that this is going to be a Rosemary's Baby storyline, and that the devil is going to just cause trouble for everybody. So we'll see.
Yes. Good. Which I like, but I don't like. I don't like because I wouldn't like it, but I like it because if it wasn't taking some serious swings, then the storyline would just be a cop-out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Pray for whatever outcome you think would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Pray for it all.
Next up. So Philip, Chloe, Brady, Ava, Gabi, Jake, and the return of the best redhead in town, Maggie Horton. Kiriakis.
First of all, did you guys read about what Suzanne Rogers went through this past year?
No, let's explore that for a second.
Oh my gosh. Well, her mother passed away at some point, and she and her mom were very close. I think they even lived together. But Suzanne got really sick, and she described it. I'm trying to remember how I read it, that she passed out in her house, or she woke up in the hospital and she had been there for 2 weeks and had no memory of it. There was also a condition she has that I can't remember the name of, but she also like lost her hair. And so she's had, it wasn't COVID or anything.
No, it was I think I remember the name because they incorporated it into Maggie's storyline. I believe it's called myasthenia gravis.
Yeah, if anyone in the chat room, because the chat room people always know better than us.
Yeah, because I remember them. It was based on Suzanne's experience, and then they incorporated it into Maggie's storyline.
Yeah. But I guess, like, you know, when I read it, what she went through, and she had to go through like physical therapy and rehabilitation and all that for what she went through, you would never know it from what we saw on screen this week. You would never know. You would just think she went on like an extended vacation or something. Yeah. But yeah, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to her, and I'm sure everybody's heart goes out to her. And she's a trooper, you know, coming back and just getting right in the middle of getting into the thick of it. So good to see her back and doing so well.
Yeah, and they say, you know, if you love your work, you know, that it'll be the best medicine for you. And she loves that place. They love her. We are so grateful to have Suzanne and Maggie back. She is beloved by everyone here. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say a bad word about the character or the person. It's just it's like she's one of those rarities, you know, just bless her. Yeah. On a storyline note, R.I.P. Summer. I will not miss you.
I know that. No. Yeah.
Did you hear about Summer?
What happened? What?
Did you hear about Summer?
No.
Justin, what did you hear about Summer?
No, I did. I thought.
Finish it.
No, I thought I say no and then you say it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
No, you say it. No, you say. Yeah. Justin, did you hear about Summer?
She's dead. Okay.
Good enough.
We're moving on. We're not good.
You had several chances there. Yeah. So yeah. Is anyone actually gonna miss her? I mean, that character was awful.
I mean, my experience with Summer is that she was an awful, terrible person. And so no, I mean no.
Yeah, and wasn't she the catalyst for that whole Mother's Day crash? Yeah. Maggie falling off the wagon. Ugh. I just no. I mean, it's sad. In many ways, this was the best way to write out the character and that storyline that never should have happened.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes, it gave her a reason for her to be away for so long. And
yes, but Maggie has come back in time to see all of the stupidity that's going on in her house.
All of the hot mess of. Yes. So I like that Victor told her that Chloe and Brady were together. Like Victor's just like whatever. He does not give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was set straight. But yeah, it was funny. I would have liked to have had Victor in that scene as well.
Yes, and wouldn't you know that we all called it that Philip's good behavior was not going to last long.
Right. I mean, and I'm getting okay. We need to move on from Brady convincing Chloe to do something with him, and then Philip just happening upon them. I'm like, this formula. We need something new.
No.
And
nothing about this is attractive. Nothing.
The stuff with Brady, I just can't. They're just, I don't know what they're doing. It's just, I mean, Brady, like we said last week, Brady has always had like control issues, and they've always sort of, They've been more prevalent other times, and like
no, I'm going to switch it up. Philip has control issues. Brady has knight in shining armor issues, where he always wants to play the knight in shining armor to every relationship that he's in, and it doesn't work. It's like people are going to mess up. People are going to, disappoint you, but you can't fix things. He even did it with Kristen. He was always trying to fix her. It's like, Kristen,
like if you're going to be like if it's going to work, it has to be like Sarah and Xander. Like Sarah didn't try to change Xander. Xander kind of decided on his own to try to change, but she went with him and accepted him for all of who he was. And you're right, Brady never really did that with Kristen. He was always trying to make her, something she wasn't, and she did become, that kind of goody two shoes. And then it all went to crap. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, the stuff with Chloe is like it's tiring. There's no, and this is why it's pushing. Like early on when it was sort of Brady, Chloe, and Kristen, I was rooting for them for Brady and Chloe. But now that she's sort of with Philip and we're seeing that dynamic and they do have chemistry, it's like just keep her with Philip. This Brady jealousy situation where now he's trying to guilt her and manipulate her to like spend time with him. And I love that Chloe's sort of calling him out on it and sort of being real of like, listen, like leave me alone. I'm with Philip. I'm actually happy. I'm not really thinking about you. I think if she continues to be in his orbit and stuff, those feelings will come up. But I think for now, as far as she knows, she's firmly planted in a relationship with Philip. And the fact that like Brady really won't respect that is just, it's very off-putting. Like I usually like Brady a lot. Just the stuff he's doing here is just very,
but the fact that Philip went off so quickly and so just without any explanation, without any trust, and it's like, you don't trust Chloe. You don't trust anybody, which is odd because he's always the one that's cheating in the relationship.
Well, that's projection. Because when you're the one that's committed the sin, you see it in other people even when it's not happening.
Yes. And I just I can't. Chloe needs to be done with them both. I'm sorry. I didn't have a high opinion of Chloe in the beginning of all of this drama because I thought she was just letting a lot of this happen, but she was just being very generous to two people that she loved. But this is enough. This is quite enough.
Agreed.
She is a grown woman. This is ridiculous.
If we had to put, and I'm not saying give Chloe a new storyline.
Yes.
But if that new storyline was like a new love interest, who would we think would be a good love interest for Chloe? Someone off the canvas, or like someone on the canvas, someone established, or someone new?
I would say someone off the canvas, but someone who is familiar to us. I feel like we need a different energy, I feel like she could do well. I'm going to make an argument here. One of the issues that I'm having with this relationship is not just that it's the triangle that will never die.
Yeah.
It's the triangle that will never die that's the same triangle that was with the same characters from 20 years ago. And so that's really it feels like the characters are all stagnated when they're put together. They're not allowed to grow because they revert back to their high school selves. So I really think Chloe needs someone either older than her or younger than her.
I was just thinking, what would we think about, and Chloe's not, that advanced in age, but like a May-December romance for her where she gets with a younger guy.
Ooh.
I think if it was the right character with the right maturity, it would work. Because clearly, again, age, we know age is just a number when it comes down to it. It's about the life experience you have. And if she found someone, I think, who was younger than her, who'd been on the Salem canvas before with just that right amount of life experience, it would work for her.
Someone, I was Patrick. I was thinking of this too, and we're always trying to bring Andrew Donovan back for someone or something. That could
We
work.
never
depending on how
saw
they-
him. That's
Yeah.
why.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
whatever.
we're talking
Maybe-
we're not talking about Drew from the Peacock series from Beyond Salem. We're talking about Andrew Donovan,
Oh yeah, just
Shane,
young,
and
young
Kimberly's
Andrew,
son, Teresa's
yeah,
brother,
yeah,
who we
Teresa's-
saw as a
Oh, we could bring
on the
in
campus
Peter Port.
Oh
We
yeah,
could bring him in.
People
Yeah.
have been saying he made quite a splash.
why not?
He
Yeah,
did. He was good.
He
They
was
should bring
good.
him. They need to bring him on the regular show and find a place for him
Mhm.
on the main show, and they need to bring Chandler and Zach
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People are suggesting Chloe and JJ.
Oh, that
Bringing
actually
JJ
would
back.
work. I think JJ has a certain maturity to him.
Yeah.
In theory, yes. I just can't see the chemistry. I could see it with Peter Port. I could
yeah.
absolutely see those two if he was brought in as a different character. I could see that working out very well. It's just she needs new energy.
Ooh,
You know what
Patrick
she
would
needs?
be
I'm sorry.
interesting.
She needs Patrick. I didn't like Patrick too much at the end
Oh,
there.
good. Oh, I love
No, I didn't.
it.
Chloe just needs a grown ass man. I'm sorry. These two are behaving like children. It's not attractive. I'm out.
It's not a track. No, it's not.
No,
It's
nothing
just
about
it's
this
just
is
the same
exciting.
thing week after week, episode after episode with this triangle, and it needs to take another step. Like we needed movement.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Maggie doesn't even need to do anything in the storyline other than just scold them both and say, "You're behaving like idiots."
Mhm.
you're behaving exactly, which is what Maggie's good at. Maggie's good at pointing out what we as the viewer see, but the characters don't see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other part of this storyline is like bringing Philip and Ava. I need a refresher of what happened with that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what happened with
Are you
that?
talking about when Ava first brought Philip back on the canvas?
Yeah. No. Ava brought Philip the information about Jake,
Yeah.
which he then used to blackmail
Yes.
Gabi.
Yeah.
And then that's how Gabi and Jake and Ava were brought into things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we got a little bit of a taste of Jake's past.
Yeah. I don't know what Gabi thought Jake was doing
I
in the
know,
mob.
right? No,
I mean, like, did she think that
You were
he
killing
was?
people?
Yeah. Did she think that he was like working behind a counter or something like
Yeah,
that?
Yeah,
Or-
or like he was their accountant or just a
I know,
mechanic or
right?
something.
I
know,
mean,
right? I know.
yeah, mechanic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like there are no innocent jobs in that
Mhm.
business.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what she thought he did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
So
kind of
he was-
why are you worried about it?
So he's being accused of killing this guy, and there's
Yes.
apparently a witness.
Mhm.
But I was confused about all of the players in that. So there was the guy that was killed, then there was the guy that actually did it in front of Jake,
Mhm.
then there's Jake, and then there's a witness.
So the way that it went was
Yes.
Jake and another guy who I recognize his name. I think we saw him before because he's connected to Ava. They went to go and make a collection from this guy. And it was the other guy that went with Jake who actually killed this
Okay.
guy. But because it was only the two of them there are no other witnesses. He is putting the blame on Jake.
Got it. So, okay, so I think Annette Thompson cleared it up. Carmine is the one that killed the guy.
Yes.
Jake was there, but Carmine is now the witness that says Jake did it.
Yes.
Got it.
Wait,
Okay, so that's
is that-
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
I thought it was that Jake got on it or okay. Wait,
No.
are we okay.
No, Jake didn't do
So-
anything wrong. Jake was trying to stop it, but because he was there and there were no other witnesses, the other guy is trying to pin it on him and can get
Okay.
away with it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, how do we feel? Do we think it seems like Gabi is not going to roll over on this one,
Mhm.
but what chance does she have of actually trying to have her cake and eat it too?
Yeah. I completely do not feel bad for Gabi. She's completely started this whole thing. It was completely unnecessary. And I like that Philip pointed it out where he was like, I gave you a job. Like, why, what was the reason for you to like turn on me and like plot against me? Like, it still makes no sense. And then she came back with like, Gabi Chic is profitable and you were going under or something, which wasn't true at all. I mean, Gabi Chic is profitable and they benefit from that, but it just, I feel like they still don't have a motivation for here. And I feel like this storyline has really been plugging along with no real motivation. It's
exactly. That's what's missing.
Putting it in like they're trying to make like this class warfare now, which kind of doesn't make sense. Of like Philip's like this, the rich kid, and her and Jake are like the poor kids who like struggled and like came up on their bootstraps. And I was like, no, Jake found out he was a Demira and became CEO in 2 days, and that's what he's hanging his hat on. I'm like, granted, we saw you sort of work and build your company, and that's admirable, but like, stop pretending.
Gabi was CEO of Demira for a very long time.
Yeah, like these people are not. None of them were in the welfare line. Okay, none of these people.
Yeah, it's just that they're so used to people stepping on them that they're constantly in that mode, which I guess I understand. It's these people were not against you. They were with you. All you had to do was leave them alone. No one was mistreating you. It would be different if maybe Philip was treating Gabi as an underling, but he treated her as a partner.
Yeah.
Very much, because he valued her business savvy and he valued her company. He saw that she was very smart at what she did. And he went out of her way to help her.
It parallels similar to Ava, where Ava's like, I didn't do anything to this girl. Like, she just doesn't like me because of my past, which is fine. But like, let's leave some room here. You're now with someone who also was in the mob, as was your brother. Yeah, he wasn't running it like she was, but he has a checkered past too. And so like the lack of motivation in regards to hating Ava is there too. So now she's teaming up with, I don't know. It's very, the storyline is interesting, but it's also hanging on by an incredibly thin thread that like, it's hard to get in there and like really, It's
hard to be invested in it. I found myself like, I want to, because you're right. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, but there's there's a disconnect. And I think you're right. It's that motivation. Like, why are you doing this? What's the end game here? And until we kind of get clarity on that from everybody's perspective, especially like, like Gabi and until we get that, it's just kind of, it's going to be there, but there's going to be that disconnect.
Yeah. It's greed. It's just, she got greedy. She got cocky. She turned into Julie.
She turned into Julie.
A little bit. Yeah.
The energy
this
is there,
all you had to do was leave these people alone. They wouldn't have bit back. All you had to do was leave them alone. Yep.
All right.
Okay, well, you reap what you
else
sow.
with that storyline? Yeah.
You reap what you sow. In happier news, Abe proposed to Paulina, and we have Chanel, Lonnie, and Eli behind the scenes working some magic to make that night special for them. What do we think?
Chanel messing up her mother, how do you not know your mom's favorite pie?
That's a very specific pie.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was like, where are they going with this pie thing? And I thought like there was going to be like, not a mystery there, but I thought like, wait, are they setting up something like and then it was just like key lime versus Florida lime.
Florida lime,
heard of,
yeah. I could understand mixing up key lime with Florida lime. If you're not paying attention, you hear lime, maybe it's it's different from mixing up like pecan and lime. Very different.
Totally two different things.
Yes, I could understand that. So it's not that big of a deal. I would hope that Abe, the most important thing is that your spouse knows your favorite dessert. Because if your spouse doesn't know your favorite dessert, like, it just ruins the whole party. It does. Like,
I did like how
thank you.
like they had, they each had like Chanel was helping with Abe, and then Lonnie they were stalling, and I liked that everyone was kind of involved except Eli. Eli had the kid. Eli was watching the baby.
Eli was eating the pie.
And eating the pie. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. We haven't really gotten many scenes with Chanel and Abe, so it was nice to have. And they also had that moment where he asked for a blessing, and she said yes, and they talked about having that relationship, which is sweet.
That moment with I didn't realize I had chills watching Chanel and Abe together.
Yeah,
because they've never really had one-on-one interaction like that, and just to hear her talk about, I don't know if that was in the script or not, but if it wasn't, it was. I was just like, oh my God, she threw it out of the ballpark because when Chanel started talking about her dad and how she never really had a dad because her dad died when she was young. I'm like, oh my God, I can hear the quiver in her voice. And for her, and Abe is like the best dad in the world. We all know that. So she's just, she's winning here. Yeah. I love it.
Know what it, honestly, I got a little bit of, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but especially in the early 90s, like Sammy used to be very close to Abe. And she used to call him Uncle Abe. Like I always remember that of like their scenes together where, because Roman and Abe were best friends, and then sort of things switched when she got older and was sort of scheming, and then she had her stuff with Lexi, and it changed the dynamic of that relationship. But yeah, just having Abe talk to a younger woman like that. And we've also seen, like, of course, his interactions we always talk about with Nicole and how loving he is there. And yeah, I think outside of Abe with Nicole and Sammy, we don't get him with, because he didn't have a daughter, or still, ironically, still does not have a daughter. We don't get much interaction with him and like the younger women, and so it was a nice scene.
Yeah, he's always just had a very special relationship. He could be like your favorite uncle, the favorite dad. That's why I say he's everybody's dad at this point, because he's when he's there for you, he's there for you. Yeah. And to see that scene with him and Chanel, it was something to behold.
Yeah, I also appreciated the scene between Lonnie and Paulina.
Yeah.
I got really engaged with that conversation. The explanation as to why Paris didn't, of course, Paulina had to put her foot in her mouth and mention Paris, but that whole interaction.
Untrue. And that's the thing, is that it was a good conversation because she wasn't totally lying.
Yeah. No,
about the reason behind that canceled trip. Most of that was true, except for that, when's pesky little detail. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, and it was just it was really nice to see them all. I know we're not going to have this happy, cohesive family for long, but it was just really nice to see them all interact and everybody's happy for as long as that will last.
Yeah. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before the secret comes out. Like how much longer they're going to drag it out, if it's going to be another couple months or what, but it'll be interesting to see how they play it out.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they do it before the wedding or after, because sometimes they have storylines where they'll have the person get married and then they'll find out something after, so then you sort of deal with this idea of
I mean, the soap opera formula is that it's going to come out at the wedding, at some point. Yeah. But whether it's going to be before, during, or after.
Yeah. Sometimes you get it before the I do's, or sometimes at the reception, or we get it later.
Yes. Well, we have all seen the fall trailer.
I always appreciate when they twist it a bit. Normally, it happens right before. If anyone has any objections, speak now, and then that's when it comes out. But I do like it when they actually get to finish the wedding and then the drama starts.
I'm with it,
exactly. Yeah, and we know that this will have ripple effects because Chanel and Lonnie were joking. I've always wanted a sister. Hey, just so you know. Yeah. So that
was pretty much it for them.
Yeah, but everybody's happy. Okay, before we move on, for now, Before we move on to our tidbits, I'd like to remind everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the Dishin Days goodness. You're already on it. Just hit that big red subscribe button. You can also subscribe to us on Facebook. You'll get the same stream. All right, moving on to our tidbits. Oh boy. Xander, Gwen, Justin. I totally called it. I knew this was going to backfire badly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was shocked that Justin went through with it. Because I was doing something. I was like in the kitchen doing something, and I was listening, and I'm like, wait, he actually is doing this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're dumb. I'm sorry. You deserve to get caught. You know this is a bad idea. You're supposed to be the logical one of this scenario. But I get that his love for Bonnie was also a driving factor.
And he let Xander get in his head.
Yeah. Also, one thing I didn't get, which was a little confusing, was when the DA came in and she was like, "Oh, the judge alerted me after the fact," and I was like, "Well, he still agreed to, like, he was still solicited. Do you know what I mean? He still said yes. Like, it's not like he said no and then reported them." So that's why I was confused. Like, was she trying to say the judge was setting them up but he wouldn't have known Justin was going to come in after? You know what I mean? Like, it's the evidence is still there, even if Justin tried to blackmail him with it. He's blackmailing him with evidence.
I think the judge said yes because during that moment with Gwen, I think the judge knew that she was up to something. So he went along with it and then called Melinda. And was like, look, this girl was just in here doing all kinds of stuff. So I think something's going on. And so that's when Melinda was like, okay, here's a tape recorder. So I guess they had to kind of know or had a feeling that Justin was going to come.
Yeah.
But even still, you would, I don't know. I feel like they would have to know Justin was coming in order for him to say yes. Otherwise, he would just say no. He would say no. True. Out of my office and then call Melinda and said, because she would still get arrested for trying to solicit him. I guess the part is weird that he said yes to her.
Yeah. And I don't even blame Melinda Trask for being just fed up with all these people trying to circumvent justice. Is like, most of the time, like back in the day when she was trying to prosecute Sammy, I didn't care for her very much. I just thought that she was just going way, way out of her way. But at this point, she's like, guys, if you commit a crime, you go to jail. That's kind of
she's like, y'all are acting foolish. You guys need to stop. And the only way you're going to stop is if you get punished. You need to learn your lesson. So I like how she went through. She's like, you're going down for drugs, whatever. You're going down for entrapment. You're going down for blackmail. And she's like, and the fourth, who's not here, Bonnie, is going down for murder. I was like, if one person's having a good week, it's Melinda.
Yes.
Oh man.
And I'm not even mad at her for it because this was just stupid.
They're all being stupid. And this is another storyline I need to move. Let's and I don't know where, not a writer, don't know where they can take it, but it's seeing them in that, I'm sick of seeing Xander in that room. In that interrogation room.
And so the whole time, like whenever Melinda's on, I honestly think, and she comes in, and she usually comes in as like the opposition to whatever we're trying to do. It's very rare that she comes in like cahoots with like our main characters or to really like get the actual bad guy. I always think like, oh God, I wish Haley was there. I wish they didn't kill Haley. Yeah. Because I feel like she brought a lot of dimension to this character. And even when like you said, like this time we sort of get where Melinda's coming from and sort of being like, okay, you guys need to learn a lesson. But it's like, I love the character. I actually like the character. And I feel like we need some more dimension with her. And I wish they didn't get rid of Haley, or I wish incorporate her more into it. And stop making her always be the opposition. Like, she can work with Abe. She can work with Justin on something. Like, I thought it would have been interesting if she said, like, listen, like, I need to teach you a lesson, but you've also, like, piqued my interest about this judge. So, you know what I mean? Or maybe she does her own detective work. Or I don't know,
Yeah.
added
Yeah.
something
I
different
could
there.
see
Then,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, I could see that because she doesn't discriminate against
yeah,
anyone who and she doesn't play favorites. That's not who she is.
No.
Her
Yeah.
rule is you break the law, you need to be punished.
Mhm.
That's how the justice system works.
yeah,
And so
Yeah.
she's very a stickler for that. So she's not just opposing for the sake of opposing. She's opposing because you guys are trying to work the system and you shouldn't be doing that.
And you're being stupid about it.
yeah,
And you're being stupid about it. You're not even doing it well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
So what do
I
we
guess
think
we're all on
about?
Melinda's side this week.
So how are
Kind
we
of.
feeling? And forgive me, I don't remember our stance on Gwen and Xander. Like, are we for it? Do we like it?
Yes, they have become very good together, and if this week proved anything, is they're equally dumb.
Yeah.
Right, 2 peas in a pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, yes, 2 peas in a pod. So, they
I
deserve
really
each
like
other
them together
wherever they
now.
may go.
The chemistry. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
I like them a lot.
I like them a lot. I just want them in a different storyline.
Yeah.
I think they'd be better. This storyline is just it's dragging on, and
Mhm.
again, I want them out of that interrogation room, and I don't see where they can go from here. Like, can all 4 of them find a way to get immunity like Xander did multiple times?
Or
But
we bring Jack to like do some investigating, maybe. I don't know. I felt like they should have went there at first. They should have went to him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
have
it to
lost
move along.
Jack.
I just don't see where it can go.
Where is Jack in all of this? We have lost him in this.
No.
Yeah, that's my question. He needs to be involved in this right now. He should have been consulted before all this mess happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's busy
Anyways,
doing something. I don't know what, but
I don't know. He's babysitting the kids because God knows somebody needs to be paying attention to those grandkids.
yeah.
Anyways, speaking of the wayward grandkids, Chad, Abigail, Johnny, and EJ. So Chad has agreed to fund the rest, put the rest of funding of Johnny's film, to give Abigail the opportunity to fulfill her acting dreams.
So,
let's
question to the group.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. Yeah, you have a question. Go ahead.
I don't remember Abigail ever wanting to be an actress. Did I miss something?
No.
No.
That was just
No.
something Johnny proposed and she got into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she said something about having an acting resume.
Oh,
And I
it
was
was
like-
in last
school
week's
play.
episode. She talked about the school play. And
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And remember, she sort of used that to
Yeah.
like trick Chad into showing how she can act. And yeah. So that was kind of like
okay.
Yeah.
This is
That was
just
her
her
acting resume.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just her opportunity to do something fun, to
Yeah.
do something that's just for her, something that's, not corporate. She doesn't have to do it, something that's just drama free. Like that's gonna happen.
I know,
But
right?
just the point is that
Yeah.
this is just something that's just for her.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really important point to make, and the fact that Chad recognizes that, I really like that.
Yeah. And interesting,
I
like
hope-
last week, I would have never thought of Abigail. Like, if we kept going on with this whole, like, we're going to cast Days characters in this movie, like, I would have never picked Abigail to play Marlena. But it's interesting. No, it's,
Do you think it's actually going to come to fruition where we actually see this movie in the process of being made? Like, do you think they're going to fulfill that for us?
I think we'll see the process of it being made.
Yeah.
Whether we ever see the final product, I don't know. Because, again, Johnny's playing with fire here. He's not aware of what's actually going on behind the scenes. He thinks this is all a joke.
Right.
So, but I can't imagine that the devil wouldn't get glee from a movie being made about his previous time in Salem.
Yeah, I also think we're gonna get maybe like we'll see like the making of the movie, but I don't think the movie will ever come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think maybe it won't get finished, but I at least want to see I want to see
them,
Abigail play Marlena.
Yeah,
I want to
same
see
here.
Oh my God.
so play
Like a
John.
scene
I want
of
to
that,
see Like now that has been put in our head,
Exactly.
I want to see it.
And
if I don't
what I
get to
do
see it,
think
I
we'll
might be a
see.
little upset.
You know what I do think we'll see, and I think this might actually be equally terrifying. What if we see Abigail levitate off the bed?
I was just thinking what you said, yeah. Or we'll see like a scene of Abigail with Allie. We'll get like a Marlena Sammy scene of, you know, them in one of their conflicts or something like that.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Make it happen. Make it happen because I want to see it. I mean, again, I don't want to see it, but I want to see it because, yeah, interesting.
It might be interesting for them. Someone mentioned, you know, finishing them actually making the movie and like putting it on Peacock or something.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see a finished product. I don't know if they'll go that far, but
yeah.
I don't know if they would see the whole movie, maybe like a short documentary of it.
Or something like that, yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be interesting.
Yeah. But Chad immediately got pushed back. Got pushed back from EJ. We knew he was going to be upset. And this will we'll veer this into our next story, which was EJ, Nicole, Ava, and Rafe. So EJ and Nicole started out that date. It obviously triggered something in Rafe. We already know this. Blah blah blah. But what do we think about EJ and Nicole?
I'm open to it. No.
Mm-hmm.
I still this makes less sense to me than Gabi. Honestly, this makes
really
yes. It's so funny because what we've got now is we got this what I've dubbed her as new Nicole now, and the show has really gone out of their way to show us that she is such a different person than who she used to be and all the things she used to be and all that kind of stuff. And we've traveled with that with Eric. And now we have Eric leave, and we have her with Allie. We have her still continuing to be this person. It still makes no sense to me why this person would not even give EJ the time of day, but just why would you agree to go on a romantic date with this person? We also have this weird dichotomy where she literally breathes hatred for Xander, rightfully so, for what he did to her. And I'm thinking, okay, did the stuff EJ did to you during your 2 marriages is really no worse than anything Xander did to you. So to be able to separate these 2 men in your life from that have both tormented you to now say, I hate Xander, he is quote unquote, forget no pun intended, the devil incarnate, and think of him that way, but to also agree to go out with EJ makes no sense to me at all.
But to your point, Justin, I think it's because Nicole has changed so much that she is okay with just spending time with EJ, because she's just like, it's not I have to, or I need to move on, or I have to be in a new relationship kind of thing of Nicole's, the way that Nicole was in the past. It's more like, why not?
I will say
I'm a grown woman. I can handle myself. Which again, we bring this up with she is a grown woman, which again, Rafe fails to recognize. Can I put out a press release to grown ass people?
You're grown ass people.
No, okay. The knight in shining armor concept is cute when you're 5. Okay, when you're a grown ass woman, it gets really annoying when people tell you what isn't good for you. Okay? Yeah. All right? It's cute when you're 5. When you're in your 30s and 40s, please stop.
Yeah.
Rafe is now doing this too, and I'm really annoyed.
Well, this is another part that also I think is troubling me about it, is the fact that, like, while Nicole is a different person, they're continuously showing us that EJ is not. And that EJ is now sort of reverting back. All the sort of good that he was doing while he was recovering, he now has fully reverted back to who he used to be. And so I think if they had showed EJ as even if his marriage with Sammy fell apart and he still was on this train of like, I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm, happy to be alive. Even if he still had his conflicts with Chad and whatnot, and even Xander, that I can understand, but they're making it a point to show that she has moved on and become a better person, and he is reverting back to being a horrible person. So I'm not getting this connection. I understand his interest in her. I just don't understand her interest in him.
Yes. But as Lawler just pointed out, that interest is because she knows him so well. She called him out.
Yeah, that's the only scene the only part of them I did like, when she sort of recognized that, like, this is really about Sammy, and you're like, you're trying to gain some sort of control, I guess.
She went deep.
Yeah.
The
funny thing was, when that segment started, part of me thought, like, Nicole was going to be like, you know what? I've been down this road with you twice with this family. I'm getting the hell out of here. EJ, thanks for dinner. I'll see you later, kind of a thing. And then they sort of flipped it and had her be the person who understands him and gets him. So
what's your take on this, Michael?
I mean, nothing that you guys haven't said. A thought came into my head when we were talking about this. So EJ, this is kind of separate from Nicole and EJ, but on the EJ plane.
Yeah.
He's desperate to get that $1 million back.
Yeah.
He's also very upset that Chad is decided to invest in Johnny's movie. What, in the case of, like, what do we think? Like, is there a connection between the two? Like, that he's trying to get the $1 million and he doesn't want Chad investing in Johnny's movie? Is the whole, like, oh, because I want Johnny to be in the company, kind of a front? Like, is there something we don't know about EJ and his money issue?
Considering he just bought a bank, I'd say no.
I mean, he allegedly just bought a bank. Yeah. But, and I mean, we didn't get very many details about that.
But a bank is way more than $1 million. So
if that's what actually happened, I don't know. I think there's something going on with EJ that we don't know about yet. That was my comment. But the EJ Nicole thing, like, I you know, someone pointed out that even though yes, she was drunk, even though Xander was horrible to her, she did willingly-ish sleep with him. I mean, they were both drunk, but she, you know, it would be in character for her to not forgive, but look past the past. And, you know, maybe, I don't know. And it could be a thing where, you know, it doesn't make sense from a character standpoint, but the two actors have so much chemistry and play off together that maybe that's why I'm like, oh, I want to see this happen, because they do have chemistry. They do work well together. So,
and I will say that this is a product of just Dan Fiergo himself. I think he's had chemistry with almost everybody he's interacted with.
Solid.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I like this. I like where this is going. Yeah. Mostly just because she can call him out.
Yeah. The one thing I did like about Rafe, sort of, his annoyance with them together, I did like that he pointed out the whole reason him and Nicole are friends is because of EJ and what happened. And there, like, that's what started the whole, you know, the baby's father and all that kind of stuff. So I liked him sort of like bringing that up of like, and like, I've been down this road with both of them, and this is, you know, it didn't end so well the first time, and I had firsthand experience. So
yes, but again, Nicole's a grown woman. All right, she was just in a big mess. Her marriage just fell apart. But in the case of this was way different because she took responsibility for her actions. And she is also not the only one in the wrong in that situation. We had extensive conversations about how Eric made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, so
Eric, even though Eric didn't cheat, but he wasn't exactly husband of the year either.
Yeah.
No.
He definitely had a part in that.
In days past, Nicole's mistakes were always just Nicole's mistakes, kind of a thing. It wasn't just, circumstances it led to this, and this. It was, no, Nicole screwed up. This time, Nicole screwed up. She took responsibility for her actions. We're moving on.
No.
Which is how it's supposed to be when you're a grown-ass woman.
You're grown out. Araceli, you should have, I'm sorry, your new segment. Get rid of the gift and do this week's or dear grown ass people. I like dear grown ass people.
Yeah.
You would have something to work with every week.
Yeah.
I did want to ask the group, do we think Nicole should have left the bear in the trash?
No.
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 I
Do you
kinda
know how
did.
many? Do you
You're
know how
trying to
many
do-
kids want toys every year at Toys for Tots?
Okay, so maybe
wasteful.
so maybe not throwing it away, but at least not have it anymore. Maybe she did, like, donated it. Are we
she
for
should
her are we for her not having the bear? I am.
Yeah, she either needs to put it away or give it to Rafe permanently. Like,
Yeah.
Well, exactly,
I think
because I feel like
it's
as
going to
long as
cause
she
it.
has the bear, she's not going to be able to detach from Rafe.
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
I mean, it can go up in a closet somewhere. You never know. You know, toys are good for memories, but right now it's a little much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Or she could, or someone, very valid
Whatever.
point, give the bear to your daughter.
Oh,
Thank
then it's
you.
still there. I mean, it's still there with her, though. I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think Nicole should have it. Like I said, as
No.
long as she has that bear, she's gonna be stuck on
Holly
Rafe,
would
so.
have fun with it. Holly would have fun with it.
Or there's this idea. Maybe Duke will get possessed, but like
No.
Chucky.
No,
And we'll go
no,
down.
no. Too far. Too far. Too far. The minute the devil starts possessing one of the toys, I'm out.
Oh my god.
No.
She's out.
Too far.
You hear
Too
that,
far.
Ryan?
The innocence of children should not be touched. Nope. Okay.
Good point. Okay.
All right. The last little tidbit we have Trip, Kayla, Rafe. This was a short scene, but this was I found kind of funny.
Yeah, was this
Several
like a slip-in PSA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
like, a
yeah,
flu shot.
okay.
PSA,
I was like,
yeah.
where are
Yeah.
we going with this? Okay.
Yeah, it was a little slip-in PSA. But guys, correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought I can't remember if I'm making this up or if maybe this was another character. Because I feel like we've had this conversation before with Steve. Is Steve afraid of needles? Or am I thinking about another character?
Oh, I don't know if we've ever.
I don't know.
Because there's something in my memory that's saying if it's not Steve, there was another character that was like secretly afraid of needles.
Oh, it could have been him.
Yeah.
That never even occurred to me, so I don't know.
That was actually my first thought when he said nope to the flu shot.
I did like the note about, it was like, oh, and because you're 65 or older.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, LOL. Except he doesn't look 65 or older.
No,
he's taking very good care of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
And the actor is actually older than that, but yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. PSAs, get your flu shots, get your boosters when they're available. Just take care of yourself.
It kind of reminded me to a less annoying extent of when they were that period of time where they did product placement, where Sammy had cramps.
Yes.
I hated that time.
Oh
I hated
it.
I mean, it kept the show on the air, but yeah, they wouldn't do it on a regular basis. It wasn't like in every episode. It was like months would go by, and then suddenly,
but
someone would be eating some
subtle.
sun chips, and then I'm like, focusing on those sun chips.
Sammy,
like,
have you tried these new
obvious.
Doritos? Yeah, it was so it was like a skit of like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah,
I'm immediately taken out of this episode.
So not subtle. This was cute, I think.
This is actually useful, and it's encouraging people to get flu shots because we don't want, with everything with COVID still going on, we don't want to have to worry about the flu either. I got my flu shot 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
So yeah, I've gotten every shot except the booster. I'm waiting on the booster, but let me full of everything.
Yeah, I'm good as long as the kiddos get covered. I'm good. I'll survive. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was your week of days and our PSAs. Okay. All right. Before we get into our segments, I would like to remind you to subscribe on all our platforms, buy merch, yada, yada. You're on our YouTube channel. Press all the buttons.
Yes.
All right.
And buy merch.
And buy merch. Buy merch. All right. And now on to our segments. Tony is not here. Do we have his 3 snaps, or are we?
No,
that
he took the week off. Fully took the week
Yeah.
off. So maybe if he usually posts one maybe on Twitter or on social when he has a moment. He's done that in the past, but yeah, we'd like to know what his 3 snaps go to this week.
Mm-mm.
All right.
What do we think he would? If we had to guess, what do we think his 3 snaps would be?
Ooh, it's interesting. What would
Maybe Paulina advocating for people to get her the right pie.
I was gonna say something about the pies, probably.
Yeah.
Or Eli eating the pie.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Something having to do with pie. Just know your partner's favorite pie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And now it's time for Caption That.
Yes, and this week's caption that comes courtesy of Gabi and Philip having their interaction, and Gabi pointing her pointy Gabi chic fingernails at Philip. And this week's caption goes to Vanessa Avila on Instagram with her caption, "I will be on the next Beyond Salem so I can see how old my daughter is."
Oh, it's a good one.
And that was next week. Caption that. Caption that. Again, I still need to figure out the sounds eventually. Maybe next week.
All right. And next in our segments, we have...
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Those were the days.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great. This week's Those Were the Days. I am taking you guys back to October 5th, 2009, where we had this infamous scene where Carly stabs and kills Lawrence. This sort of launched Carly's sort of return to Salem back in 2009. Mm-hmm. Also started the whole Melanie, Carly Daniels storyline that it eventually became. Yeah, I saw this. About all that. I was like, yeah, all that came from sort of this, and this actually was the opening shot where we see Carly and Lawrence, and we hadn't seen them for years, and we sort of revisit them and find out that they're actually in an abusive relationship. And so, yeah, this was the result of Carly having enough, and she stabbed and killed Lawrence.
Yeah,
and that was October 5th, 2009.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lawrence. Oh, and if you didn't know, those 2 actors are actually married in real life, and this week they welcomed their first grandbaby.
Oh, congrats. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. So congratulations to those 2. They're grandparents. They're enjoying it. I still would love to see them back on the canvas at some point, but
they're
let
a great
them enjoy
couple.
their grandbaby.
Yeah, they're a great couple.
Yes. And those were the days.
I love that.
Thank you. All right. And now it's time for my segment, It's a GIF. And this week's It's a GIF goes to... Lonnie and Eli's appropriate response to finding out that Chanel had a crush on one twin and is now dating the other twin.
Nice.
Yes. And if you have twins in your family, you know that this is the appropriately horrified response.
Yeah. Actually, someone mentioned in the chat that would have been Tony's 3 Snaps Award.
I was just going to say
that was like, that's...
It was right before when Chanel was like, "Yeah, I'm into men now," like as the little
like,
cap.
I'm into men
like,
now.
yeah. That
so casual about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way.
Yes, right. And that was this week's It's a GIF.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, and now it's time for our weekly news and gossip. Justin, take it away.
Yes, we are starting off with Miss Jackie Harry, Paulina Price. A big congratulations to her. A few weeks ago, I told you guys about a pilot that she was shooting called Everyone's Trash. She was doing this with one of the 2 of the comedy duo, 2 Dope Queens. I believe it's Phoebe. She was doing her show. I think she plays her mom on the show. But anyway, the pilot got picked up to a series order for Freeform. So a big congrats to Jackie Harry. Hopefully she will continue or be able to continue, to also do days with this show. So yeah, big congrats to Jackie Harry on Everyone's Trash, your new show.
Everyone's trash.
Yes,
Great.
Or everything's trash. Sorry, not everyone's trash.
Everything's
great
trash.
title.
Everything, everyone, depends on the week.
Yeah,
Still a great title.
Yeah, next up we have Mr. Tyler Christopher, ex Stefan Demira. We just want to wish him just amazing well wishes. For those of you who know he's sort of been dealing with a lot of personal issues the last couple of years, and he's been sort of absent from social media while he deals with those issues. But this past week he put up some Instagram posts and some pictures of him just looking happy and healthy and just being in a great mood and talking about being home in Malibu and being surrounded by friends and family and being in a loving situation. And so
being very retrospective, like posting, oh, this is where I had my first job. This was my first roommate, like stuff like that. So
yeah, it was really nice to see. And I know people are always sort of looking out for him. He has a long history with General Hospital and people are always just rooting for him to get better. And
he's from Ohio.
Is he? Oh yeah.
Ohio native. Delaware, Ohio. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when he started on General Hospital at work, someone was like, oh my gosh, this is my friend or my friend's friend or somebody, they knew him.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Yes, yeah. And he was working with what's his name? Who plays Steve?
Yes.
Stephen Nicole. Yeah, he worked with Mary Beth.
Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth. Yeah, they worked with both of them for a time there. So it all came full circle, and we wish him well. Take care of your mental health, guys.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. World Mental Health Day is today. So
yes.
Yes, it is.
Perfect timing. Next up we have Miss Deidre Hall and Rob Wilson. They will be guesting on the Kelly Clarkson show this Monday to talk all things Days. I'm sure they will be getting into this possession storyline. So you'll hear their thoughts on that and check in with them. On Kelly Clarkson Mondays, check your local listings for time and channel.
They filmed that a while ago.
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago.
Like a month ago,
yeah.
I didn't realize that like they taped that, like those talk shows taped that far ahead.
I didn't either.
I thought they were pretty close to
maybe a COVID thing or if I was surprised about that too.
We'll see. Who knows?
Next up we have our friend of the show, Jen Lilly. She has another game night for her charity. Christmas is Not Canceled. This time is hosted by one of our former co-hosts, Mr. James Lott Jr. I think he might be in the chat room. I think I saw him earlier. Hey, James. Yes, he's hosting Celebrity Game Night Thursday, October 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can get tickets and information on Christmas is Not Canceled. Remember, guys, this is an amazing charity that Jen Lilly works with and kind of fronts. I believe she's one of the founders, I believe. They do amazing work for children in foster care. And just a lot of it is also getting school supplies and making sure at-need children have exactly what they need to go to school, get an education. And it's amazing charity.
And no, that's not me in the picture. That's another actor who stole my look.
Oh, the lumber. Wait,
who's the stole my look? Andrew Walker.
Oh,
he stole your look. He stole his dirt.
He stole the lumberjack.
Stole my look.
Last but not least, we have our virtual Q&A, the big one coming up, featuring Wilson, Chandler Massey, and Freddie Smith. This one is next Saturday, October 16th. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, hosted by our very own Mr. Tony Moore. There are still tickets available. For tickets and information, please go to SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com.
Yeah,
that'll be a fun one, I think.
Yeah,
always
both of them together. Yeah.
Did you guys watch when they did the virtual Salem Proud? You know, the Salem Proud was supposed to be an in-person event in March of 2020. We all know what happened in. No, wait, was it March of 2020? It was supposed to happen maybe April. Anyway, it was supposed to happen in 2020. We know what happened in 2020. Nothing happened. So they did it virtually. Chandler spent the entire show in his boxers. Just like he disrobed right at the beginning and just sat there the entire. And Tony and I were just kind of like, Tony was like, it's so distracting.
So you got your money's worth.
Yeah. Yes. Well, those were the days where we were just realizing that weeks were going to drag on to months. So we started getting very lazy about our personal hygiene. We were like, who cares? No one else is here.
He was taking care of his, but it was just distracting.
So you heard it here, folks. Go get your tickets. You may see Chandler Massey.
I'm not making any promises, but
possibly.
Tell me what
hinting, Michael?
Say what?
Is this you hinting?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what had happened. I'm telling you what had happened last time.
Okay, and that was this week's news and gossip. And before we let you go, let's get a sneak peek at Days of Our Lives next promo for next week.
Every time I see you together, I get so damn jealous.
This is the mob. You play, there's a price.
To make a baby.
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
Going off the bed again.
It's happening.
Man.
Yeah. Do we think that they actually brought in somebody to do that, or do we think that they're just using special effects this time?
So I'm trying to remember how they described it back in the day when they did it, because it wasn't like a CGI thing. It was like she was actually up off the bed. So it was some kind of, I can't remember the technology name. So I'm thinking maybe they just did that again. Because if it worked 25 years ago, it should still work now.
I can't remember if Ron was, when we interviewed him, he mentioned this. I can't remember if he was talking about it 25 years ago or this time. He was saying they brought in magicians and they used like the trick that the magicians would use to, like, when they levitate somebody. It's sort of that trick, I guess.
I don't think she would. Someone asked if they hold her up by cables. I don't think so, because she was too like. Yeah, that I don't think perfectly they used like. No, it was something that actually made her like float off the bed. So I'm guessing if that technology is still around and it was affordable for them, that's what they use. Because if it worked before, if it went broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, so, special effects gets expensive. Yeah, it's easy to do.
Don't fix it in post. Just find a way to do it.
No, guys. Yeah, number one rule: don't try to fix it in post. Get it done right there. It's a mess otherwise. Yeah.
A friend of mine's a post producer, and she gets so irritated because they're like, "Well, how much is it?" Even before they shoot, they're like, "Well, how much would it be to VFX it?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah. Just on set.
Anyway,
Oh my God, working with sound is hard enough. Oh God. Yeah, guys.
Anyway.
Yeah. These are jobs I will never have because I respect those people too much, and like I get a headache doing it. I get a headache just talking about it. So, anyways, that was your film PSA for this week. I'm just filled with all of them today.
That was her listen, grown ass people, or whatever.
Listen, grown ass people. Please don't fix things in post. All right. And that was our week of days. Thank you so much for joining us. Justin, tell the kind folks which platform they can find you on.
You can find me on Instagram.
Platform.
Yes. Thank you for pointing that out. You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Michael Mattis, tell the kind folks where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. There I am at ML Mattis.
And you can find me on my favorite social media platform, Twitter, at Tia323 Araceli. Thank you all so much for joining us today. That was our week of days. I hope you all enjoyed everybody's show. I hope I did our dear Tony Moore justice. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You did amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm in a good mood for having had quite a lot of tequila at Justin's birthday party.
Oh.
Yes, we did. We had a...
He had a lot of the good stuff.
Nice. All right.
The Araceli party yesterday.
No, I'm really sorry I missed it.
I know, you missed out.
Listen, Friendsgiving next month.
I told Justin before the show, like, I totally spaced and thought it was next weekend.
Oh.
Don't know why. I went about my business and then saw his post last night. I'm like, oh well. But happy birthday, Justin.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Justin. Justin's birthday was
He's
last
officially
week.
a member of the 40 Club. So welcome,
Thanks,
Justin.
Nicole, for saying that publicly.
You're welcome. Hey, I could have been like Tony and said 50.
As we've established, age is nothing but a number.
Yes.
Nope.
Yep.
You look amazing. You don't look a day over 39 and a half.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya. Oh, I have to.